Hey everybody, I had a couple more questions about the exponent matching activity that's towards the end of the week. I realize it's pretty hard, and it's just been really hard to not be able to do this with you guys because this kind of stuff is what just takes a ton of practice and hearing over and over again. And right now, with us having to piecemeal different videos together, I'm not sure that any of those really did a really good job of combining all the rules with exponents and all of that. So I'm going to do 2 through 6. I'm going to do them fairly quickly, but you can then go back and rewatch if you need to, or skip around as needed. So I'm just going to kind of do it from my how my brain would kind of operate through them. So for number 2, anytime you start with a fraction, I just draw my fraction bar. In the end, if there's nothing left in the bottom, I can get rid of it, but for now, I'm going to start that way. The first thing that you want to do is just worry about your factors, 28 and 21. If this was 4th grade and they said, simplify this fraction, just do it like that. They're both divisible by 7, so I'm going to divide 28 by 7 and 21 by 7. From there, I'm going to look at my x. I have x to the 7th over x squared. The rule is you subtract them. So 7 over 2 or 7 minus 2 is 5. The way I do it is I just say, where are the x's heavier? They're heavier on top. By how many? 5. So you are still subtracting. It just takes out the issue if there ended up being a negative. For instance, if it had been x squared over x to the 7th, you'd be left with x to the 5th in the denominator versus the numerator. Just like the next part, actually, y squared over y to the 7th. You could subtract, and that would put it as y to the negative 5 in the numerator, but then you have to get rid of it by moving it down. It's just so much easier to say where the y is heavier, on the bottom, by how many. At that point, there's only one x base, one y base, and your coefficients are simplified. You're done. And number 3, there's 2 routes you could go to this. This is power to a power. That means everything needs to get raised to the power of 2, negative 2. So one option you have is to get rid of that negative exponent and move everything to the denominator, because that's how you get rid of that negative exponent. You move it across the fraction bar. So in this case, I probably would actually go ahead and multiply your exponents. So I have 8 to the 1, x to the 4th, with a negative 2 exponent. So that simplifies to 8 to the negative 2, because I'm multiplying the exponents, times x to the negative 8. Negative exponents, right now they're technically in the numerator, so I'm going to get rid of the negative aspect of it and move it down. 8 squared on the bottom, x to the 8th on the bottom. Notice the only thing that changed was positive exponents now instead of negative. The 1 on top, you have to have that placeholder. The only other thing you can do is simplify. 8 squared is 64. And you're done. For number 4, same idea. Multiply exponents, So it becomes x to the positive 8, which is nice because now I don't have to worry about doing anything with it. But then it becomes y. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. This is in the numerator and it's going to stay there. This is in the numerator, but it has to move down to get rid of that negative. So x to the 8th stays where it is, only the y moves down. It becomes y to the 10th. Number 5, this is where you could go ahead and give everything times negative 2. The exponents can multiply. However, there's no negative exponents inside the fraction. So to me, if I'm just going to end up making everything negative, it might just be easier now to get rid of it, the negative. To do that, I'm just going to flip everything. This becomes 3x. This becomes y to the 4th. I'm leaving everything just flip-flopped, and this is still squared because I haven't squared it yet. Now, everything has to get multiplied by an exponent of 2, including the 3's exponent of 1 and the x's exponent of 1. So this now becomes y to the 8th over 3 squared x squared. Look real quick, there's no negative exponents, nothing needs to get moved. 3 squared is 9, and I have x squared left. Number 6, again, I could multiply in with a negative. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to flip-flop everything and get rid of that negative. So this becomes xy cubed, x4 times y. All I did is flip-flop it. I haven't squared anything yet, and I got rid of the negative exponent. Before I square things, you can simplify inside first and then square, or square and then simplify. I'm going to simplify first. It almost makes more sense that way to me because of order of operations. So inside, this is x to the 1. There's x times x times x times x on top, x on the bottom, where the x is heavier. They're heavier by 3 on top, so I'm going to leave that there. Y on top, y cubed on bottom. Y's are heavier on the bottom by 2. And now you just multiply your exponents. I hope that helps a little bit. The rest of them kind of follow along there. So, just do your best, and you're doing a great job.